Before there were cigarettes, before there were brands, there was the leaf. Tobacco is one of the oldest forms of spirit communication known to humanity. Long before modern times, it was understood as a living messenger, a way for human intention to travel beyond the visible world and return with meaning. In the oldest traditions, tobacco was never a habit. It was a bridge, not something used to escape life, but something used to speak with it. Our ancestors knew breath as spirit itself, and smoke was breath-given form. When the leaf touched fire, it awakened. When guided by breath, it carried thought into the unseen. In that moment, intention became vapor, and prayer learned how to rise. It was never about getting high. It was about clarity, connection, making the invisible visible. That's the memory the leaf still carries. Radio Cigars.
Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar.
All right, family. Alim was literally just in the here. I don't know what happened to the brother, but he was just here. Oh man, I don't know what happened to the brother. Like he literally was here watching the commercial with me. Let me call him real quick, family. Cause this is a good one here, y'all. Pardon my lateness, that was on me. I'm gonna come. Came a little late. Yeah, let me call the brother, see what's up.
He's gone.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see you no more.
Oh, I have no idea, God. Let me see.
Yeah, you got to come back in.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, he didn't even know he wasn't live, so I don't know what's going on. But what's going on to the family out there, man? When I tell y'all, it was pouring out here, raining hard. I mean, it was raining hard in Georgia, and I'm in the Stone Mountain area. I mean, it was pouring. Somebody say play the intro again. Now I hear you. I'm really glad y'all like that intro, but I mean, it was pouring out here. Sound like it's about to start again. I mean, shit, man. This matter of fact, and shout to another shout out to Sharif. Sharif had a weekend workshop in Georgia, and despite it raining the whole weekend, I was there. I stopped by Saturday. I stopped by Saturday evening, and it was amazing. So shout out to Sharif. I can't wait to see the whole thing. Shout out to everybody who came through to support the brother Sharif. But it was a real good turnout. So shout out to that brother. But without further ado, I want to welcome to the platform. Brother hasn't been here in a minute. It's going to be a good one. He's going to be a classic one. I want to welcome back the brother Alim Bey. Welcome back, Alim.
Peace, brother Rich. How you doing, God?
Man, I'm doing great. Yeah, I was just telling the people it was raining so hard out here today in Georgia.
Yeah.
And it's been raining for like 2 weeks now. So
yeah, it's been raining here like that too.
You in the Carolinas, right?
Right.
What part? Where you at exactly?
North Carolina. So I'm like about 6 hours away from you.
Okay, you in North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. Well, listen, man. Welcome back, my brother. How's everything been? Tell the people what you've been up to lately, King.
Basically, we got an event that's coming up. I'm up in New York. That's June 27th. I'm gonna post a flyer through the presentation, and that's basically what's going on right now.
Where are you speaking at?
It's gonna be in Williamsburg, out there in near Bushwick, Broadway area.
And what you doing?
Brother Hank. Brother Hank
Oh, oh,
Rising son.
oh, Hank. Okay, yeah, Williamsburg. Wow, the the white folks over there now. They all
Yeah,
up
I
in there
know.
now.
I grew up over there back in
Yeah,
the days. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. They
yeah.
done
They
took
done
that.
regenify that whole area.
Yeah, man, for real, for real. But okay. What you gonna be talking on? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's a little delay here. Alim, peace. Alim, are you there? Boy, Alim got it back in there. Y'all can hear me though, right? Family, y'all can. Alim, you there now?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
your reception was breaking up a little bit, so I didn't hear
I don't
anything
know
the
what's
last.
going on with that.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes, I didn't hear you. We didn't hear anything you said. But let's get this thing started, Alim. I don't want to delay this any longer. So tonight's show, we really want to know. We hear about, I'm from New York, or I'm from here, or I'm from there. A lot of people are very interested. There's this connection to the cosmos that we feel innately, regardless of people tell us we don't need to focus on that or not. We know we're of greater origin than just this physical vessel that we inhabit right now. And the topic of galactic bloodlines is circling on the internet, but oftentimes, just like with the the UFO files that they're talking about, they're always talking about some whites, Alim. So the black people like, well, goddamn, where do we come from? You know what I'm saying? They talk about the Nordics and the Greys and the insectoids and the Dracos and this and that, but you never on mainstream media see a black person represented in a galactic manner. So you've been around for a while, Alim. You've got a lot of research. You've seen the old school.
Just say she's going to deal with.
Can you hear me? Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
Alim. All right. Yeah, did you hear what I was saying? No, it's a bad connection.
yeah.
It's a delay. Hey, Alim, what are you doing this from a computer or phone? What are you doing this from?
You want me to go back out
No, what are you filming from? Your
on
phone
the
or
laptop?
on a laptop? Do you have a iPad or that you could
Laptop.
try?
Yeah.
Do you have an iPad or a phone you could try it with?
Yeah, I can use a phone.
Yeah, let me see, because there's a delay, there's latency, you're in and out. So I just want to see if the phone works a little better. Could you try to log in with your phone real quick?
Yeah.
Log out of this one first, Alim, so there won't be any feedback or anything.
Okay. Interfere.
Yeah, exactly. Let's try the phone. Maybe the phone will be better, because this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a real good one. And I want y'all to let me see. Man. You got it on mute. But yeah, be a little patient with us, family. Sometimes you can't plan for things like this. That's another thing. Lately, the Wi-Fi has been acting very strange. Not only on when people are doing shows, just in general. Watching TV or being on the internet, the Wi-Fi has been acting very strange lately. So I don't know if that's something from the solar flares or the Schumann resonance or what, but the Wi-Fi definitely has been, and it's not just me. A lot of people on the internet has been talking about their Wi-Fi acting up. The other day I'm like, damn, did I forget to pay the bill? Because the Wi-Fi stopped acting up. I'm like, nah, I paid the bill. Shit, why is it acting up? You know what I'm saying? Thought I forgot to pay the bill, y'all. But we just gotta somebody said, okay, somebody said there has also been rolling blackouts. You're absolutely right. Somebody said there has also been rolling black. You're absolutely right. in Georgia yesterday around my neighborhood, pitch black in certain spots, and my lights went out in my house yesterday. It wasn't long though. It went out for shit, just about a minute. But certain areas in the neighborhood, power was out. So yeah, things are. Uh, Alim, you're right. And maybe you're gonna try now with his phone. Oh man, I got people ready for this show too, man. People ready for this show. So somebody said due to the weather. It might be. Alim,
Yeah, peace, God.
yeah, you're moving. Yeah, you're not. There's no delay now. You can hear me right now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay. But and you even a little clearer now. Also, are you still able to show your presentation? though? Do you know?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, because you're on
But
the phone.
right, right. But we can, we can still get through it.
How about if you do it? You use your phone to talk. You still log in from your computer, and you just use your computer for the slides. Like you put it on mute though, and you use it for
Got
the
you.
slide. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see. Let's see if that works. Just use the
Okay.
computer for the slides. Somebody said, "Can you send it to me?" They want to know.
Yeah,
Let's see.
yeah.
Let's see
You
if
want
this
me,
works.
if I send it to you?
Yeah, whatever's easier. If you could send it, I just emailed you, so you got my email, right? richardmerritt@yahoo.com.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Is it a PDF or
PowerPoint.
okay, PowerPoint. Okay. Yeah, send it to me. Let me see. Let me see. But thanks for the ideas from the family in the chat. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Somebody said young elder said that too last night. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, shout out to young elder. I need to get him on the show again. Tonight's show would actually been dope with young elder also, but I need to get that brother. He's gonna do when I have the next panel, the alien panel, y'all. I'm gonna do a panel. Remember, the last panel was insane, y'all. We have LeBron, Billy Carson, Rod Hayes, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and Phil Valentine. So I'm gonna do a part 2 this time. And I'm gonna wait for them to do that UFO dump when Trump does the next one. And yeah, I'm gonna get Young Elder. I'm gonna make sure Young Elder's on that panel. And because that first one was incredible. Y'all gotta tell me who some of the other sisters that deal with the UFOs. I don't think there's not too many sisters out there, from
Small
my
part.
knowledge, y'all. Yeah, I had her last time. Yeah.
Right.
I'll probably get her again, but I want to. If there's any other sisters, y'all, let me know in the chat because I know y'all be on the YouTube. I don't be on the YouTube that much, but I want to know who else is out there that deals with the UFOs and all that stuff. Were you able to log in with your computer, Alim?
Yeah, I'm trying to send it to you now.
Okay, all right, dope. New Diamond said me. Yeah, I haven't. I gotta check out some of your stuff. New Diamond said. I told you. I remember you did the joint on 3i Atlas. I remember that joint. That was fire. Aaron Lines. Yeah, she touches on it somewhat. She does. Indeed. I'm talking about anybody y'all know that hasn't been on here yet that I may not be aware of. Definitely let me know. Nah, Sister Mara don't deal with the UFOs like that. She deal more with astrology and Aquarius Maximus. That's more astrology.
Right.
But yeah, I'm talking about like on the I'm trying to think. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Just keep letting me know. I know y'all gonna let me know for sure. Yeah, if you aren't able to do it, Alim, we could just get going.
Okay, God.
Yeah, we get going because we already 15 minutes in.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So you wasn't able to send it either, huh?
I gotta go to another email to send it. I'm sending it now.
All right. No, I'll keep line. He's dope. He would be dope. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's does he deal with the? I think he does deal with it. I know he deals with space and because he's like a scientist, an engineer type. Yeah, I don't know if Stephen Greer will mix with my panel. You know, he might get a little thrown off. You know, but he might get thrown off by the by
Right,
that by
right,
that melanin. You know what I'm saying? And
right, right,
you know,
right.
academia they you know they go a certain route, and if you go opposite of what they're going, they just totally disregard it. But yeah, I don't think he's built for that. You know, you know he got it. He stay in his lane. You know, but yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of things going on. Somebody said, "Peace, God. Is there any info on Half Nega and Lyran?" Well, I'll bring that up to Alim tonight when the time is appropriate. You know, I was actually on the phone with Alim talking about the Lyrans earlier, so you know we're gonna touch on that. No, I know the brothers. I know there's tons of brothers out there that do it. You talk Seven and Rosban. There's tons of brothers out there. Like we in that field, but I'm just saying the field isn't. We don't have tons of sisters, so that's why I'm like I wonder if there's some out there I haven't heard of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Right.
Q Reeves. Yeah, shout out to Q Reeves. Does he deal with? I think he does deal with the extraterrestrials too. He does the past life regressions. Real good at that. You know, um, Morgan Fisher. That's that white dude, right? I think I seen his channel one time. He like got that gothic look. I think he got that real gothic look. And I'll save this question for later about the dreams. I don't want to, because I want to. We so late. I want to get into it when we're able to. But yeah, I'll save that question for later for Alim about the dreams. All right, family. You know, De La Soul. I haven't heard of De La Soul. Zen Wombs. See, your name is some names I haven't heard of now, so I'll look into. I'll definitely look in. Roderick. Damn, shout out Roderick. I haven't talked to Roderick in a while. He ain't been on here in about a year. Oh man, I gotta holler at the brother. I ain't talked to Roderick in a while. Real good brother, man. You talk to that brother off camera. He's willing to help, and you know, real good brother off camera. So shout out to Roderick. He be over there on Forbidden Knowledge. Also, brother Yosef will be on later this week, probably Friday. Brother Yosef will probably be on Friday. So shout out. And brother Yosef deals with the UFOs too. He would be dope to have on there. Shout out to brother Yosef. You know, yeah, shout out to brother Yosef, but he's gonna be on Friday. Today is Tuesday. Yeah, he'll be on Friday. Yep. Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure yet. You know.
It's connected now, God.
You said it's what?
It's connected now.
What do you mean with the email, or you logging in to
Yeah, email.
let me see. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so you already sent it, right?
Yeah, if it's connected. Make sure.
Somebody said, Rich, do you eat meat? You know, it's funny you asked that. Yeah, occasionally I'll eat some chicken, turkey, occasionally, and very rare red meat. And it's funny you say that because I ate some red meat the other day and my stomach started hurting. You know, I had some tacos, matter of fact. I had some tacos, and I'm like, shit, I think it was that red meat. So it's funny, and I was literally just talking to Dr. B earlier, like, man, I ain't never fucking with that red meat again. I should, you know. So it's really funny that you asked me that. But yeah, I do eat meat, not in moderation, not a lot at all, but yeah, in moderation, yeah, definitely. And you know, I'll eat on some fish, but you know, eat some fish. Yeah, fish is probably my favorite. Like I'll eat some sardines or you know, things like that. You know. But yeah, Alim, I think we should just get going now.
Yeah,
And
we're gonna have to because it's taking too long to connect.
it shouldn't have to connect. It should just say sent or it should
Yeah,
just say email sent. Did it? But it
yeah,
didn't
but
say that.
it's still downloading.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Are you able to check that out in the background while you're talking and just see the status of it?
yeah. Let me get back on and do that because that's about the only thing I can do right now.
Yeah. Let me see what else y'all talking about in the chat. Pardon the delay, y'all. Come to the Bahamas for good fish. Listen, y'all, I could imagine. Oh man, I could imagine how the fish tastes overseas. You know, everything's pretty much the food chain is so corporate greed, man. You know, they want to make the most money they can make. And you know, the things they're doing to the salmon and to the fish and the farming. Like I never eat farm fish. I'll never. Bobby told us about that 15
Yeah,
years ago, that farm tilapia. I ain't never touched tilapia a day in my life. But that farm salmon, if I do eat salmon, it is wild caught. But I'm even wary of that now. And yeah, so you got to be real careful with anything, the food, because everybody's just greed now. It's just pure greed now. Pure greed now. Anything you buy, you could buy a salad from the store. It's pure greed. You got to be careful with all of that. You know, do you use numerology in your birth chart? And if you do, what calendar do you? I don't know if that's to me or to Alim. If I'll save it for later, if it's for you know, Alim. But yeah, numerology, I just go to King Simon. I go to King Simon for that. Yeah, I go to King Simon for that. I don't really study. I think I told you this before. I don't really study the sciences like numerology and astrology. Sometimes I feel like that it kind of interferes with my intuition, and I like my intuition to be strong. And I got so many experts around me, so I could, you know, I could focus. You know, but you could put your energy in, but so many areas. So I want my energy directed specifically in certain areas, like a laser, and I just go to certain experts with that, and I just use my discretion with what the experts say. But I got a lot of experts around me, so you know I could do that. King Simon, Lord Strayhorn, you know, a lot of experts. Yeah, no, it's definitely time for a gathering. Yeah, I know it's definitely time for a gathering. You know, actually, I was waiting to see what happened with this. What's the new one they had? The what virus? Because I didn't want. I
the
want
hantavirus.
the Hanter. Yeah, I want to see what happened with that. Because every time you look up, it's something new. So I don't want to, you know, do something big and you know, they do this one of these shutdowns or whatever. But yeah, it's real soon. I'm gonna have something coming real soon, yo. Somebody said get young Farrell. You know, I actually seen the interview with him and Unc 607. I seen it was pretty good. And I hope the brother's all right. I remember him from back in the day. I never really got a chance to look at his videos the last couple of years. I don't know what he's been up to, but yeah, shout out to young Farrell. I just, you know, I haven't communicated. I haven't talked to the brother in like a decade. I did an interview with him in Harlem, I believe. We was in Harlem, and I might have talked to him on the phone once or twice, but like during his whole rise, I never talked to the brother. I lost communication with the brother. So, but I you know, I always hear about things about the brother. So I hope he's doing all right. Yeah. So many good brothers sisters out there with the information, you know, and life just keeps coming at you. So you hope brothers and sisters is all right out there, you know. Yeah, Alim.
Yeah, you got me. I got the join up, but I don't know if you have to do anything on your end.
Oh no, hold up. You got like hold up. All right. Okay. Finally, y'all, let's get this thing going. This is gonna be Alim. So let's start out, my brother. Before we check. Yeah, Alim, you gotta press mute on that computer.
Okay.
Make sure you got mute on that computer so there's no feedback or echo or anything like that. But with that being said, Alim, I love that the name of that. Is that your book, brother? What is
Yeah,
that?
that's my
That's
book, God.
your book? Nigga, when you wrote that?
I wrote that 2 years ago.
Planetary Genesis, Stargate DNA. Oh, come on, Alim. Why you ain't
Yeah,
sent me?
yeah.
Come
Hey,
on.
hey.
Right.
Trying to get it out, God. Trying to get it out.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, we got this
There
gonna
we
be a
go.
good one. Alim, I already gave you the intro, let you know I don't want to keep up too much time. Let's get into this
Right.
thing. Well, tell us about our extraterrestrial origin. We hear about Greys and the Lyrans and the Syrians and the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki done took over the internet, so that's
Right.
like the most famous group out right now. But
Right.
break all this down to us the only way you can, my brother. Go ahead.
All right. In my book, Planetary Genesis, Stargate DNA, and Humans Extraterrestrial Origin, I go into the various lineages on planet Earth who are actually attached to the various entities or deities, as we refer to them as. We refer to them as extraterrestrials, aliens, the Elohim, the Anunnaki, etc., etc. All right. So we're gonna get into and whatever. Okay, there we go. You got it. Now you get this book. Humans are not from Earth. All right. Now this verifies what Queen Mutua taught is that the Amazulu people, before they came to planet Earth, they came from the sixth planet, in which that was talking about Mars. That was the sixth time in which that they jumped. Earth was the seventh time that they jumped, but the sixth time that they jumped, they was on Mars. All right, so I'm gonna get into that. So it says here, the human genome, the genetic code in each human cell contains 23 DNA molecules, each containing from 500,000 to 2.5 million nucleotide pairs. DNA molecules of this size are 1.7 to 8.5 centimeters long when uncoiled, and about 5 centimeters on average. You have about 100 trillion, 76 trillion actually, cells in your body. So it can stretch the DNA in the cells out end to end. They stretch over 744 million miles. The moon is only about 250,000 miles away. So all your DNA was stretched to the moon and back almost 1,500 times. The sun is 93 million miles away. So your DNA would reach there and back almost 4 times. All right. So interestingly, not more than 1.5% of the human genome contain DNA that helps build us, that maps for the protein. And it's called as it is called. The other 98.5% is junk DNA accumulated through the various evolutionary processes. For example, 90% of yeast genes have counterparts in humans, and there are 223 genes in humans that matches those in bacteria, but aren't found in intermediate organisms. Apparently, these genes jump directly from bacteria to humans or vice versa. So this is 223 alien genes in us. All right. And there's 4,000 plus genetic defects. All right. And this is according to the National, let me put that down, the National Human Genome Research Institute, International Human Genome Sequencing.
Hey,
All right.
Alim,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
word would you substitute instead of using junk? Because we don't use that word. I noticed. What word would you use? Because I think Dr. B, instead of saying junk, he describes it as epigenetic DNA. What
It's
word would
that's exactly what it is, epigenetic DNA.
right? Which is
Epigenetic,
programmable.
which means basically epigenetic DNA means that it's malleable, that you can
Mm,
utilize that through acoustics and
mhm.
various sounds in order to activate it, in order to make it more conductive,
Right.
be more conductive. All right.
Excellent.
So here we have on Fox News. This was on Fox News just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Scientists believe there's 4 types of aliens life found. This is Jesse Walter here to the left, and they speak on the 4 alien types claimed by former CIA scientists. Now, when you're dealing with the CIA, you're dealing with the cabal, and of course, David Wilcox spoke about the cabal and how they practice racism, and they don't want us to know, in particular, melanated people, to know that we have extraterrestrial genealogy. All right, so this is what they say. According to claims by former CIA-funded researcher Dr. Hell Putoff, the physicist Dr. Eric Davis, intelligent sources allegedly describe at least 4 distinct types of extraterrestrial life recovered from crashed UFOs. All right, they are not confirmed by the United States government, which has stated there is no viable evidence of alien life or recovered non-human bodies. And that might be what they said, but this is not what Barack Obama stated. Barack Obama said that he believed that there are extraterrestrials, as well as also President stated himself that, you know, he was going to release the UFO files, and that is a possibility, or that they say that there are extraterrestrial life as well. So Trump has said this. So here are the 4 alleged species. The Greys, which is, you know, well-known alien type in UFO culture, described as small humanoid beings. Some actually are robotic in their movements and actions. They are said to be futuristic. They are those humans who basically destroyed their reproductive system. So now they have to feed on blood, and they have to feed on the flesh of humans as well as animals. All right. In other words, they're no different than the vampires in which that we now see within the Epstein files. All right. And of course, they have these large almond-shaped eyes and bald heads. And then we have the Nordics, and they, you know, blonde hair, blue eyes, Scandinavian or Sweden looking features. They're supposed to be about 7 feet tall. All right. Allegedly come from the Pleiades star system. All right. Allegedly, the Greys come from, some say that they come from Lyra. All right. And then we got the reptilians, scale skin, slit eyes, and some have no tails, some have tails, and some have tails, longer tails, and actual wings. And these are the reptilians, and the ones who have the tails and the wings are part of the royal clan, the royal family. All right. And these are the reptilians. And there are humanoids, breed people who have breeded with these reptilians, and they have DNA in which that caused their eyes to slit as well. All right. And I've seen that happen several times. And then you have the insectoids, in which that actually is nothing more than another form of a taller gray. They're like the praying mantis, you know, they're elongated, you know, body parts and limbs. And so these are the 4 major types that they speak about. So they don't want you to know that you are part of this heritage. Okay. Let me see here. All right. Let me go further down. Just bear with me for a second, y'all. All right. Now, what we find out is that, as I said, they don't want you to know that you are indigenous. They don't want you to know that you have extraterrestrial lineage. So what they do is hide that information. But what we have found out is that according to reports, because what they want to say is that RH negative is the origin, O negative, RH negative blood is the original blood type. However, when you go and do some research, you find out that the Albion Europeans' blood serum is identical to rabbit serum. And rabbits are rodents. And then you have the Albion pig, which you have all heard the expression pigging out. Interestingly, of course, we also hear of I'll be a monkey's uncle. These are all byproducts, animal byproducts, in which that went into forming who we refer to now as the Albion or European. All right. And they're not the original Europeans, of course. But here you have what's called the rhesus factor. And this tells you.
Hey, Alim, is something else supposed to be on the screen? Because it's still on the
It's still on the.
Yeah, it's still on the 4 alien types claimed by former CIA scientists.
Okay. Let me see here. Sorry.
While you get that together, Alim, what was you about to say? Because you talked about the 4 groups, then you was about to say something else. What was you about to say, brother?
Yeah, I was just saying that according to David Wilcock, who they murdered approximately about 3 weeks ago, he stated, or they claimed that he committed suicide. He stated that the cabal, talking about the Illuminati, the 13 families do not want so-called black people to know that they have extraterrestrial lineage.
Mm-hmm.
And he stated this, and he wrote this information in his book, as well as the fact that he wrote about how the Christ gene will come through the so-called black people. And the proof of that was Simeon Toko, who I talked about over 20 some odd years ago. Mm-hmm. And Simeon Toko stated a prophecy that he will go. However, there would be many who will come after him who will have these same capabilities and more.
Same thing Jesus said.
That's the same thing. That's exactly the same thing Jesus said. He said, Jesus said that there would be many who will come after me, who would, do even greater things than I.
Right.
The exact same thing. So yeah. So this is what's going on. So they don't really want us to know that. However, we know that the Pacific bloodline in which that is coming through is E1B1A. That's the haplogroup. Okay. The haplogroup E1B1A. They are the Hebrew Israelites, as we refer to them as, not by religion, I'm talking about by blood. And the Jews and the fake Jews know this, they know this very well. So
where's this bloodline at? E1B1. Where is this bloodline at?
70% of us here in the so-called United States are E1B1A. Almost 50% in Africa are E1B1A. And we say that we are Abraham's seed, but Abraham is a fictional character. Really, Abraham would be Amenhotep of the 12th dynastic period.
Mhm.
who had Hyksos or Habaru lineage, which means that he was a so-called Hebrew.
Right.
So this is where this lineage is coming from. And anyone who is related to Ramesses the third, all right, if you go and do your DNA test and you are related to Ramesses the third, then you are E1B1A and you're part of this divine lineage, which is called the Israelite lineage. But even Israel is a fictional character. It is merely those who follow Asar, all right, Asar El or Asar Ray. Asar Ray is Asar El, which is Israel. Okay. And
So
of course, Asar is Lord of the Perfect Black. And he was the Lord of the underworld, as well as the fact he was the god of green vegetation.
right.
And
So
his name Osiris means in Greek means to see. So it's talking about the pineal gland, how it's able to see into this dimension, hence symbolic to the green vegetation, as well as the underworld, which is talking about the subconscious, which is the various planes of subconscious. So you have the conscious, the subconscious, the superconscious, the magnetic conscious, and the infinite conscious states. And those deeper levels is what Asar was able to look into, those various realms or dimensions, or as we refer to them in density levels. Well, go ahead, Brother Rich. Sorry about that.
no, it's all good, my brother. Now this group, this H1B1, I was just gonna ask.
Right,
So where
E1B1A.
E1B1A,
Right.
where's what's the origin cosmically, galactically of this group? Where do they come from?
All right. E1B1A, according to the Bible, comes from Shem. Shem, according to the Talmud and according to the so-called Jews, was Melchizedek. Melchizedek was the Archangel Michael. Michael means he who dares to be like God. So when they talk about God put himself into us, that was another a double portion in which that was put within us, in which that within the Sumerian text would be the Lord Marduk. So we come directly from the lineage of Marduk, which is Melchizedek, which is the Archangel Michael in Hebrew text. And
So
this is Shem. And Shem was one of the sons, of Noah. He had three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Shem was the lineage in which that we came from. So Ham was is the lineage of other so-called black people, in which that look like us. However, they are a different bloodline.
right, that and Rod Hayes talks about that. Hold on, I'm trying
Right.
to. This is what we're trying to figure out because the sabotage is coming from within. It's not just coming from white people. Who are these
Right.
other black people that look like us that come from the Ham bloodline? Who are where do they come from?
They are here in America as well as also in Africa.
How do we distinguish them from the
They
Shem?
have Shem has various glands that they do not have.
Ooh.
Shem have two glands in which that is one is right under the chin called the barytheric gland, which Dr. York spoke about. But Dr. Deborah Blair also told us about the mound at the roof of the mouth or crevice, in which that is known as the epiphany gland or the Talu gland. So Shem has both of those glands, which make us have 9 chakras instead of 7, like humans. So we're not human. We are those extraterrestrial. We come from the bloodline of Shem. However, Shem, being that is Melchizedek, is Marduk, means that actually stems back to the Syrian beings.
That's
just
what.
the Anunnakians, not just the Anunnakians, but the Syrian beings. And therefore, these two extra glands give us the ability of psychic abilities and also spiritual abilities. So we have these particular glands. This is how you know who's who on planet Earth. All right. Those who do not have, now you're going to have the Anunnakians who are fully Anunnakian. They might have one or the other. So they might have the barytheric gland or they might have the epiphany gland, but they don't have both. And then you have humans who look like us too, who are so-called black or melanated, but they have neither of these glands. And they just have a 7-chakra system. So those who have these glands, we have a 9-chakra system, which means that we are all 9 etheric or 9 etheric beings. Then you have 8th ether. Then you have 7 ether. And those who are 6 ether are the Asians and the Europeans. All right, as well as the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, so forth and so on, because they are part of the ape, the great ape. Okay, they're not human, they're mankind. They're part of the great ape species.
Alim, how do you spell that? Barytheric gland. How do you spell that?
B-A-R-A-T-H-A-R-Y.
T-H what?
B-A-R-A-T-H-A-R-Y.
Okay, barytheric gland. Okay.
Right, the barytheric gland.
How do you know if you have that? Like, well, what's the?
You can feel right underneath the chin, about an inch back from the chin, and you take your finger and rub right here underneath, and it feels like a ball, like a little ball, and you can actually feel it on both sides of your neck. This used to be in your hippocampus area of the brain, but it was reinserted here under the chin area, which meant the submental area. So it dealt with psychic abilities, the psychic gifts that are mentioned in 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. The gift of healing, the gift of speaking in tongue, gift of interpreting tongue, the gift of miracles, the gift of healing, the gift of knowledge, the gift of faith, so forth and so on.
Yeah, I don't know if I got that, Alim. Shit, I might not have. I'm
pretty sure you do, God.
I don't feel like
You've been doing this for a long ass time. You've been doing it for a long ass time, God.
What? Okay, so all right, another question. So that's the barytheric gland.
Right.
Now this thing that's on the roof of your mouth.
It's like a mound.
Yeah,
it's like a mound.
I feel that.
And,
so some people don't have that mound. You're saying?
No, they don't have that. So you have the mound.
Yeah. That's obvious.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. So you have the spiritual center then.
Yeah, I think I feel them balls you talking about now though. They on each side, you said?
They're on each side, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it like squishy?
Yeah.
Or it's supposed to be hard?
No, it's like
No.
somewhat hard, but you can feel it. You can feel it. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm sure I heard you say that before. I just forgot. I'm sure I heard you say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is information in which that we got from the elders, but they never put this information together, as to make us understand that it was that makes us 9 etheric beings.
Right.
They always were just talking about our hair. Hair is good, but you have the glands that shows and demonstrate that you are a 9 etheric being as well.
So next question, Alim. So all right, the 9 ether beings come from Sirius. Now these other beings that look like us, where do they come from?
All of us come from Sirius.
Oh, them too.
As far as the black, right, the so-called black, brown, and red people on planet Earth, as we want to, for lack of a better terminology, the Moors or so-called black people, we all come from Sirius. However, due to our consciousness and due to our, your soul evolution dictates your physical evolution.
You gotta explain that.
Right. So the higher that you were spiritually, soulfully, when you left here in your last life is what you come back to reincarnation wise in this in this present life or in a future life.
Right.
So your soul evolution dictates your physical evolution.
Mm.
So for those who have these glands, means that they actually reach the highest pinnacle of spiritual and psychic abilities, and they just came back in order to help others to reach that same type of essence, which is knowledge of self.
Let me ask you if this is true. I seen this on TikTok, and I was wondering, like, wow, is this true? Somebody said that these people that you talk about that came just to help other people, these old souls
Right.
who have already done the work in another
Right.
lifetime, they just come here to help people. They
The
say
great
that
old ones.
yeah,
Right.
they say that the great old ones ironically look young. Is that
Right.
true? That's
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
that's one
Yeah.
of the signs. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the signs, no doubt about it. You
Why
know what
would
I'm saying?
they come here to look young? What is it?
Oh, before they can have a longer time in order to expand their knowledge and information amongst the masses.
I figured that. Okay. Makes sense.
Hmm.
Got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly. They have longer telomeres.
Mm.
The word telomere means a cap. So they have a longer cap. It's like your shoestrings. You
Mhm.
have like the little plastic that goes around
Yeah.
the shoestrings in order to get through the hole. That's how
Mhm.
your telomeres are. So for those in which that have longer telomeres, they live long lives.
Mm.
Okay. Now, astrologically, you're dealing with astrology. That would mean that they deal more with Saturn. Saturn would be the planet of structure, the planet of discipline. So you have to look and see where Saturn is located at in your particular chart. Like Saturn, if it's in Scorpio or in the 8th house, then you have a long life.
That's me. I'm number 8. They King Simon told me I'm Saturn, and
There you go.
yeah, I'm number 8. Yeah.
There you go, God. Exactly. So I ain't telling a lie.
Right. Wow.
Because King Simon is one of the experts. Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you, what happens when the Shem bloodline interbreeds with the 6 ether beings? What does that offspring represent? Because we got a
That
lot of
that that
European
that
with us.
offspring will have the Y DNA, which is E1B1A2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Excellent. All right.
yeah. So our genetics, because C E1B1A and E and DE are the only haplogroups that are agreeable or positive in nature. All other haplogroups are negative. That is,
Mhm.
E1B1A is the only one that is positive.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's why it separates us from everyone else. This is why they talk about God's chosen people, is because it is genetics.
Mhm.
And then even out of the E1B1A, for those in which that are the highest spiritual children of the E1B1A, they will have AB positive blood type, and it would be part of what they call the 144,000.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Like, you getting real deep with it now, Alim. This is why I had this brother on here, y'all. For those, shout out to everybody. We got about 1,800 people in here. Alim doing this thing, breaking this thing down. So, Alim, another question. I'm glad I can ask Alim any question about the cosmos, and this brother, in his mind, he done read it or channeled it somewhere. So, I'm definitely gonna get the Q&A from y'all later on, but right now, I'm just chopping it up with the brother. So talk to me about the Andromedans, because I know Flebrun talks
Right.
about. Well,
Right. Flaubert speaks about the Andromeda beings,
yeah.
the Lyra beings, as well as also the Syrian beings, the Draconian beings. All of these. See, what happened is that Native American Tales speaks of the fact that our souls come from these particular constellations.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, your soul evolution dictates your physical evolution. So these particular souls come down and they form physical bodies. So they come down from an etheric state and form what is known as a morphogenetic field, in which that is the template for the structuring of the human anatomy of the physical body. And so you gather that information from where you come from in this lifetime or whenever you exist. Okay? So that is what this is, that's what's really going on here. So the souls from those particular star constellations manifest here. So you can be from Sirius, which the majority of the so-called black people, brown and red people are from Sirius. Or you can be from Draco, the Europeans. You know, they are the Draconians.
So
a lot of them are Draconians.
Okay, so
you know, if they haven't mixed in with us within at least one generation out of 4 generations. You know what I'm saying? Because our one time of mixing in with them in 4 generations can actually destroy that draconian lineage. And this is why these so-called 13 and top Illuminati families, Illuminati families, try to keep their bloodline pure so that they can keep channeling these draconian lower astral entities so that they can keep, as the Epstein files show, to keep eating babies, drinking the adrenalized blood called adrenochrome and so forth and so on, because this is what they use to get high off of and to be able to go out of body and to channel these entities. It's like Monster Inc., the movie Monster Inc., the first one, how they capture the energy of the humans and they take that fuel of that emotion back to their world to keep their world going. This is the same thing that the Albion uses in order to put fear among us. Everything is fear tactics. If you notice, they always have to have a fake, you know, some type of fake red flag. You know, oh, they going back to the moon again. Oh, they the Hunter virus, you know, with the people on the ship. Oh, then we release them into the population. Oh my God. You know, they always doing some fear tactic. You know, everything is fear to them. So we get scared, we listen to the news, and so we in society and be like, man, there's more things taking place. And, you know, and we get nervous and get scared, and they feeding off of that.
Indeed. Let me ask you this, real quick. What is the melanated man and woman's connection to Mars? Because I've heard of Delbert Blair and I believe Dr. York and others talk about that. What is our connection to Mars?
Oh, right. According to Credo Mutua, the Amazulu people, which means sky people, he said that their relatives was once on Mars before they came to planet Earth. So our ancestors was once on Mars before they came to Earth. Now, the ones in which that still show and bears the resemblance of the Martians are people known as the ostrich people. They're the ones in which they have the split in their toes and their feet and in their hands. I don't know if you ever seen that, Brother Rich. But the ostrich people, as they are called, and they are the ones in which that are the remnants of that genetics coming from Mars. And once I, you know, get on here, I can actually show that documentation once I pull back up.
It still ain't come up? You still ain't able to get it up?
Yeah, I got it up, but now I'm trying to get to it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said Marvin Martian is a Moor.
Right. Right. This is what has also been said amongst the conscious community. Okay, let me pull this up.
Shout out while Alim gets that together. Once again, shout out to the chat. In about 20 minutes or something like that, we're gonna get into a quick Q&A. Okay, here we go. Let's get back to this powerful presentation. Go ahead, my brother. Let's do this thing.
All right, so we got the book Star Ancestors, and this is what it says in here. The Dakota tribe speaks of the spirits in the sky often descend to earth in human form. The Hopi called them the Shekinah, the Kachina. The Iroquois tells of a woman fall from the sky. The Arika teaches man came from a previous world. The Algonquin tells of the spirit descending from the sky under the guise of men. The Chippewa tells of the Batatung Yanaka, a man from the stars. The Cree speaks of the Sky Father along with the trickster. All right. And it says here, aided man and taught man civilization. The Osage refers to the Minkaka or the star people. So according to Star Ancestors by Nancy Red Star, this is her to the left, when it was time to populate the earth, many spirits came from other planets. A spirit entered the atmosphere. They took on the atomic structure, which formed into a body. When we exit, we dematerialize the atomic structure. Okay. So I wanted to say that. She said the vast number of the souls came from the stars, in particular Sirius, Orion, the Pleiades, Arcturus, and of course the Andromeda, Lyra, Draco. And according to the indigenous and native traditions, the majority of souls came from the stars, planets, all right, as well as also Mars and Venus and etc., and projected via the macabre. All right, the macabre, which is the counter light field of the spiritual soul, into the physical form on earth, and the stars we return after physical death, spiritual transcension. The Dogon, who are the Olmec people and former Temerians or Egyptians, are referring to human DNA because of the same elliptical pattern as Sirius A and Sirius B, referring to the light of Sirius, which is cosmic plasma that travels to our planet that formulates and influences human DNA. According to Credo Mutua, South African shaman, alayhi salam upon him, of the Amazulu people, the sky people, their prior home was the red planet, Mars. All right? So that's what he says.
You going to another slide?
I'm gonna try to. All right, so we get this book, The Serious Mysteries, all right, by Robert Temple. And the Dogon speaks about their connection to the Nomos, who were the beings in which that taught them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, the book speaks about that. So go to Serious Mysteries, and also another book, The Serious Connection. The Serious Connection. All right. And it says that the placenta is used by the Dogon as a symbol of the system of a group of stars and planets. Our own solar system seems to be referred to as Ogo placenta. Now, Ogo, whereas the system of the star Sirius and its companion star and satellites, etc., is referred to as Nomos placenta. Nomo is the collective name for the great culture hero and founder of civilization who came from the Sirius system to set up society on Earth. All right. So at one time, Sirius was part of Earth was part of the Sirius constellation, and actually it still is today, which many don't want to speak about.
Yeah. A couple of people talk. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah.
Earth, yeah. Elaborate on that, please.
Yeah. At one time, Earth was part of the Sirius system, and there was an implosion that occurred, which was Sirius B. And Sirius B, that energy in which that was released, formed our sun, and from our sun formed our planets. So we are a replica of Sirius B. And so Sirius B would be, as what was stated just now, the normal placenta, but we are the ogo placenta. In other words, idolabra. All right, placenta. The sun is a form of idolabra.
The sun we see in the sky.
Yes.
And Sirius B is its
Is the blazing star, which would be what we call the father of, or the mother of. So that would be Sophia, which as we know, the Egyptian name would be Auset. Sirius A is the brightest star in the night sky. So Sirius B would be its counterpart, which symbolizes the dog star constellation, which is Anubis, the dog star. That's why it's called the dog star, because it's Anubis, an ampoule. All right.
So when we're looking at the sun, because people say it's a portal, what are we really looking at? Where is it still getting its energy from Sirius B?
Yes, it is. Still getting its energy from Sirius B, Sirius A, and from there intertwine, which is like an elliptical pattern, just like our DNA strands. We got two DNA strands in which that crisscross each other in an elliptical pattern. The Sirius A and Sirius B symbolizes that same elliptical pattern. Our Kundalini, as it travels up, the spinal cord symbolizes that same elliptical pattern through the nerves known as the Eta and the Pingala.
Mm. Mm.
Okay.
Wow.
So get these three books here: The Science of the Dogon, Decoding African Mystery Tradition, Sacred Symbols of the Dogon, The Key to the Advanced Science in the Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyphics, and the Cosmological Origin and Myths and of the Myths and Symbol, from the Dogon Ancient Egyptians to India, Tibet, and China. All three are written by Lord Stratton. Okay. Get this book if you want to learn about the great old ones, or the Titans, which means the return of the ancient ones. Get this book, the Necronomicon, where it speaks about the great old ones as well. And here we have the Earth history and lost civilization. And this is what it says: when Earth was in Sirius, this is according to the book. Long ago, when this planet was still in the Sirius system, star system, the surface of the planet, it contours, was similar, not exactly the same, but similar. Some of the mountains you have here now was much taller. Some were still growing. Perhaps the most striking differences was that much of the planet was covered by water.
Shit, much of the planet is covered by water now, right?
Right, but remember, you seen the movie Waterworld when 90% of the planet at one time was covered by water. That would have been what we call Tiamat, according to the Sumerian tales.
Right.
All right. Tiamat was the dragon lady, symbolized of the dragon water, of the water in which that was all over the planet Earth nearly at one time. And then the Earth crust began to rise from out of the waters, in which that now we have 25% Earth, 75% water. But at one time it was only 10% and it was 90% water when it was Tiamat. Okay. And that's when the moon was once part of our planet at that time, as well as also what we now refer to as the asteroid belt, which sits between Jupiter and Mars to this day, which was also the destruction of Malona, which was a moon, and Meldic, which was the planet in which that once sat between Mars and Saturn. I mean, not Mars, but Mars and Jupiter. Okay. So here, this is what it said. Therefore, we are the extraterrestrials, something extra from the astral plane to Terra Earth for the Sirius B or etc. Uh-oh. Therefore, we are the extraterrestrials, something extra from the astral plane to Terra Earth. That's what extraterrestrial means. All right. From Sirius B or etc. When the Earth, Tiamat, or the daughter Earth equals Mother Nature, C, Sister Mara, Mos L, itself is a remnant of. The sun was formed from Sirius B's implosion, nebula gas material, in our planets from the cast off solar plasmic energy. The etheric beings are the soul group that was given Earth as their new home when their former home, Sirius B, imploded. All right, this is what was going on. So when Earth ascends, the etheric Syrians will take over as guardians of their planet. And this is what the cracker, the Albion, is scared of. The majority of the etheric Syrians are found amongst the so-called black, brown, and red melanated races of Earth. All right, that's what's going on. Take it or leave it alone. So here we have explore race, origin, and the next 50 years. And this is what he says. Zosh, the end time historian through Robert Shapiro. It is not the genetics per se, between lives, people, or spirits, etheric bodies, and so on. And any person of the African core race now has been many other things. But during this time, when a soul participates in the African core race, here on this planet, in all of its variations, the genetic activations or activities or levels of heart energy that is not naturally dominant, meaning it is present in everyone, but not a dominant force in all human beings. It will activate the heart energy of African core race persons, and they will have a greater sense of expression. When a soul is in a variation of an African being, there is natural, more pronounced emotional body, a more pronounced love center. As a result, they have about 1% greater connection to the spiritual realm. In other words, it creates a slightly higher vibration that connects the individual strongly with Sirius and to a degree with Orion. For a man, the connection would be roughly 50%, 50-50, Sirius Orion. But as a woman, the connection is 100%. All right. So let's go deeper. I'm presenting the origin of darker skinned people on Earth because they are so unique to the founding of your culture here. They are really functioning as a living, walking, talking connection between this planet and Sirius, and to a lesser degree to Orion. If anything ever happens to, check this out now, if anything ever happens and they decide to return to Sirius and Orion, and they have the capacity to do so, because you can activate your macabre or rainbow body and get the hell up out of here. Over a period of about 8,000 years, 10,000 years minimum, probably about 7,500 to 8,000 years, the energy coming from Sirius and Orion will gradually halt. In other words, this Earth will be no more, because the factor of who this planet belongs to is you and I. It says, because it takes a while for the energy to travel here, it would take about 7,750 to 8,000 years for it to cease after they left. That energy is what allows you to function, to be alive here on a planet borrowed from Sirius, which is why it looks so different from the rest of the planets in this solar system. In short, to exit not only in this solar system, but in this galaxy, to put not too fine a point on it, the dark-skinned African people are what is keeping you alive here. Their origin is so rooted in extraterrestrial culture that their ability for civilization to exist at all on the surface is directly related to them. The other races which started out their cultures on the surface, such as the Palladians and the Polynesians are the root race of the white race, would not be able to maintain. They would not be able to maintain the planet's energy and keep you here intact. This is what Robert Shapiro say. All right. This is what he says. This is Robert Shapiro right here. Get the book, The Akan, Other Africans and the Sirius Star System. Okay. This is what we're talking about here.
Hey, Alim, quick question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What, according to your research, because you just showed that last picture with I don't know what's that symbol, the Akan, that last symbol you showed?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what according to your research, what is the oldest symbol you ever came across?
The oldest symbol would be the swastika.
Why did I asked that? I thought you might say that. How is that? Why is that the oldest symbol?
Because the swastika symbolizes the four directions, north, south, east, and west.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a gauge for someone who brings the news. The word news is north, east, west, south. That's how you break the word news down. So you bring the good news means that you're getting it from each of those directions, north, east, west, and south.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the oldest symbol that we have is the swastika, as it's referred to as.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hitler was so tapped in with these the aliens and goddamn the spiritual information and shit, man. How the hell did he know all of this?
He was a student of Rudolf Steiner as well as also Madame Blavatsky.
Right.
And I would think that he also had to have known about someone who existed even before them, who they got their information from. That would have been Pastel Beverly Randolph. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's crazy how Europe. If you go into I watch all types of channels on YouTube to get some information, and Aleister Crowley names get mentioned 1,000 times. Madame Blavatsky names, they never mention Pascal Beverly Randolph, man.
Of course not.
Jesus
he
Christ.
He was a Moor.
The racism just don't stop with them, yo. They just can't
No,
help
it doesn't.
They can't
help it.
Damn.
Nope.
Wow.
Because they know who we are.
Yeah.
We don't know who we are.
This is beautiful information tonight.
Yeah, so right here, we got Genesis, the first chapter, 6th verse. Sixth chapter, the first verse. Now it came to pass that when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters was born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives from themselves, all whom they chose. Now these were the so-called watchers, the so-called 200 fallen angels. All right. But these same 200 fallen angels is what are those beings who taught man, taught a civilization.
You said the watchers are underground when I talked to you.
Right. Because as part of their punishment for mixing in with the women, they had to go underground. So, and some say that they are chained up to this very day, but they will be released.
Shit.
Okay. So what happened is that when they mixed in with the humans, these grotesque creatures, these giants begin to be born. All right. And they will be what we refer to as the Titans. This is where the story of the Titans come from. And then Mount Olympia, and the humans, all of that thing. And then Zeus, having sex with the humans, and producing children, Apollo, Hercules, so forth and so on. All of that is the same story told in the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter, the 1st verse, as we see here.
Right. So those are the Titans.
Right. The Titans would be who we call the Nephilims. You also had mental giants, but they was also giants in the land in those days.
What race? So we could have a better idea. These Titans.
The Titans were deformed, so some of them had a lot of recessive genes, so they was deformed. So some looked what we now refer to as European in some looks, and then you had some in which that looked so-called melanated.
Because of Bobby, I always thought the Titans was the black folks, and
those are those are the mental giants who were the Watchers, because the Watchers also had children in which that were not deformed, and they became the mental giants, in which that they were the ones in which that now we are also descended from in that regard. As a matter of fact, the book of Enoch speaks about that. Here it is, chapter 6 again. This is in the book of Enoch, another chapter 6. All right, so here it is. And it came to pass that when the children of men had multiplied in those days, it was born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heavens, saw and lusted after them and said to one another, come, let us choose the wives from among the children of men, and begat us children. And Semjasa, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered and said, let us all swear an oath and all bind ourselves by mutual implications that to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. In other words, let's do this damn thing. They swore that they all together and bound themselves by mutual implications upon it, and they were in all 200. Metaphysically, the 200 symbolizes the 200 bones in your body, who descended in the days of Jared on the mount summit of Hermon. And they called to Mount Hermon because they have swore and bound themselves by mutual implication upon it. And these are the names of which the leaders, some just said, and their leader, Arakab, Kebel, Ramel, Kakabil, Tamael, Ramael, Daniel, Ezekiel, Barakikel, Asael, Aramos, Ratirel, Anael, Zehikel, and Zamasapel, Zatarel, Torel, Jamjael, Sariel, and these are the chiefs of 10. 200 for the angel descended on Mount Hermon from the black planet Saturn in the days of Jared before Noah, the times where they was sentenced underground before the flood. The Vatican and the United Nations are working underground with them. Okay. So these are the skeletons figures representing just a few giants, human remains unearthed, documented in the historical records along with the historical accounts of Goliath, who had 3 brothers as big as he, and Ogun king of Bashan, whose bed was 13.5 feet long, and Maximus Thorax, a Caesar of Rome. So here we have from 6 feet, 15, 8.6, 10.6, 12, 19.6, 23, 25.6 to 36 feet tall. Okay. Now, remember, they went to Saturn. So here it is. Right here, we have Norman Bertram, and he was being interviewed by this lady here to the left. And he spoke about 7 feet tall black people from outer space in his book, The Ring Maker of Saturn. All right. And he was a NACA and a NASA member. And he said he described seeing 7 foot tall black people in giant space vehicles in Saturn. Okay. The woman in the video said dark skinned people, after the NASA guy said black people at 2.20 minutes. Listen, after the woman say dark skin, the NASA made it clear and said no, black. So these are allegedly the entities the Voyager captured, which of course you can tell they don't look black here. But this is really how they looked. So according to the Ansar cult, the truth about the Ansar to Allah community in America, Truth is Truth, Rebuttal to the Slanderers, written by Dr. Malachi Z. York, known as formerly as Imam Isa. He says this: when the 200 fallen angelic beings fell from grace with Iblis, they settled in the land that was called later called Nod. The 200 fallen angelic beings from the cherubims, the bad angelic beings, all called, all right, took on the form of human beings who were black-skinned males and females. Come down. The cherubims, or the 200 fallen angelic beings who follow Iblis, was known by several other Hebrew names, such as Gimbarim, from the root he prevailed, Enakhem, Raphaim, Emin, and Zozomim. They were titled described either beings of great spirituality or those possessed of much evil. In this group were also the wicked giants, the Anakim, who are the Anunnakis, were descendants of the Anak. All right. And in this time, the prophet Noah, before the flood, these beings caused much evil to spread on the face of the earth. These demons in human forms corrupted the human race morally, turning the minds of men and causing them to indulge in every conceivable wickedness. And in an effort to gain more followers, Shaitan, all right, referred to these beings that came to earth as the Nephilims. Right? So these 200 fallen angels physically symbolize the 200 bones, approximately 200 bones in your body. Now, Norman Bertram, as we just seen, this is from his book. All right, from his book, The Saturn Rainmakers, or the Rainmakers of Saturn. And right here, this is an infrared photograph of one of the gigantic celestial objects taken by Hubble telescope in the ring of Saturn. This is a spaceship in the ring of Saturn, as it is called. All right. And this spaceship holds those individuals who are the 7 feet tall, so-called blacks. Okay. Now, get the book, The Zulu Bone Oracle, and Kudumutwa speaks about this. All right. He says the Zulu claim Earth as their 7th world. In their 6th world, the planet Mars, the forerunners of Zulu and all Southern African tribes were severely threatened by a powerful foe from another world, and saw that the chances of saving themselves was slim indeed. They proceeded to prepare their weapons and then went out one step further in an attempt to save the race. The fairest of all, not fairest as in light skin, but the fairest is beautiful, of all their women were impregnated by their male folks and then placed in circular flying vehicles, each with 3 wheels. All right. These space vehicles are known throughout Central and Southern Africa as Merkabas or Macabas. The Macabre were sent off on course to Earth. This is the same Superman story. All right. Remember the Superman story. Their world was getting ready to be destroyed, and Superman had to be put in a aircraft. All right. A circular aircraft and sent to Earth. All right. And sent to Earth. This is the same story told right here about the Zulu bone in the Zulu bone oracle by Krita Mutwa. All right. So this thing about Superman, we know that Superman actually was a play because his name is Ka'el. All right. The spirit of God. All right. And so Ka'el, the spirit of God, was like Mikael, one who dares to be like God. So this is why he was always responsible. And we know that he had to have been melanated. But of course, the Jews get their, the Jewish people get their documentation, and they misconstrued it in order to make it in their image and after their likeness. And so therefore, DC Comics make Superman with dark hair and blue eyes. But yet he can take the sun resurrects him. All right. The sun can resurrect him from even out of the grave. Okay. So this is what we see here. So the Macabre is sent off on course to Earth.
Yeah, I'll wait till you finish and I ask Alim. Good.
Okay, God. All right. So right here we have frame 76, frame 35A, 72, NASA image on Sedona, which we have a Sedona right here in place known as Arizona. Notice the quality of this raw image compared to NASA's new 1998 data shown here. There's something wrong here. But right here, we see the face on Mars down here to the right, in which they always spoke about. So who formed that face, and who formed these particular pyramids that you would see here adjacent to the face? Well, here they are. They're called the Bantwata, or the Bantwata people. And this is who we call the ostrich people, and they are from Mars in Africa. Okay? This is who I'm talking about. When I say the ostrich people, they are called the Bantwana people. All right? And they exist even to this day. Right? New studies documents depleted uranium impact on children in Iraq. And look at this. They have the same type of formation as the Bawana people. No coincidence. Look at this. All right. So I'm showing you the extraterrestrials and how they look like us. No play. Okay, no play. This is you. Go ahead, guy. You had a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel about, you come from a different generation of research and scholars, the internet and a lot of information on the internet. You will hear people say things such as, anytime I have somebody talk about space or the planets, they say space is fake. Space is not real. Nobody has that.
Right. Because really, spaceships travel through dimensions, not necessarily through space. I've seen spaceships decloak itself or appear from out of nothingness right in front of us. That was back in 1998. I was standing outside and we was chanting, Amin Ra Capra Tutin Capra Amen. And we kept chanting that over and over again. And we seen a ship just come out of nowhere. Like it decloaked itself right in front of us. So we know that they travel through dimensions, not necessarily through space. but the sky. Because of course, many say that there is a dome over the top of the over us. Okay. So, but they still travel through dimensions. So they are able to get in and out. And this is what the European Albion is trying to do today with CERN. He's trying to open portals where he can get in and bring things in and get out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So right here we have a 1.5 billion year old golden skinned woman spaceship found on the moon, allegedly. All right. So here is the mothership found on the dark side of the moon, found in 1971 by NASA, with 2 Anunnakian empresses as pilots, spacecraft over 1 billion years old, full of gold, advanced technology, test tubes, beings during Apollo 14 through 21 mission. This is how she looks here. And anyone would tell you that the moon, or what we perceive to be external, is actually, for those who are flat earthers, would be within the rings around the enclosure in which that we have. And there are other enclosures around there, and there's other enclosures around that. It's like an egg. You have the shell, you have the whitish part, you have the yolk, but that is how it is formed. So there are other land masses in which that correlates to what we now refer to as above, but so below, as within, so without. So when we talk about the moon, we looking up in the sky, and according to what flat earthers say, the sun is only 3,000 miles away and not 93 million miles away.
Which one you believe in? The flat earth is 3,000 miles away, or?
I don't believe. Now, of course, based on mathematics, allegedly it's 93 million miles away. But based on my observation, it's not that far away. 3,000 miles do make sense. So observation rules over, mathematics in that sense, because number one, we never had anything to go to the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out that the moon is the same size as the sun, but yet it's supposed to be smaller, but yet when it goes into an eclipse, it covers the whole sun. So that would mean that the moon is equivalent to the same size as that of the sun. At least when it goes into an eclipse. For it to be 250,000 miles away, and then the moon, then the sun to be 93 million miles away, it fits into that diameter of the complete blocking out, and so that is something which that we have to look at too. All right, so this is the black woman found on the moon. They would never talk to you about it. 1 billion years old, 1.5 billion years old. Here's another form of her. This is her with this apparatus here on her third eye, in her eyes, because she utilized this technology in order to steer the ship and control the apparatus of the ship. And here it is taken off of her face. And as you see here, her third eye area would be the mental apparatus in which that was utilized for the steering of that particular ship. Okay.
Where you get them pictures from?
Oh, I got it from Brother Hakeem Bey back in the days, and well, there's also information in which that I had, and from back in the days when we first got this. So yeah, it's been about 20 years now. Of course, 2004 is when Facebook popped off. So yeah, Yeah, so it's been 22 years now. So about maybe 2, 3 years after that, 2007, I got the information, those pictures. All right, so here, the marine geologist captured this video footage of an aquatic humanoid or mermaid or merman. So here you have the actual footage of the mermaid, and you see the hands are webbed,
Yeah.
and this is the mermaid captured, and the mermaid look identical to the reptilian or the reptoid, and which that you see here to the right. No coincidence. Okay. We have diseases in which that correlates to that of the web body, as you see, of the feet, as well as also of the legs together. And they refer to this as Cyanomalia, which alternatively is known as the mermaid syndrome. Okay. So we know that this exists. Here's some more web feet, web hands. Well, in this case. So web toes refer to feet whose toes have been tissue in between them and are medically termed as syndactyly or zygodactyly. And it says, although several animals like ducks have webbed feet as part of their normal anatomy, in humans, it is a birth defect. Or is it? The tissue between the toes is often skin, although in more severe cases, there would be involvement of bones and tendons. Webbed feet usually result from the incomplete separation of an adjacent toes during development, remaining the embryonical form of toe. So as you can see here, symbolized our dolphin ancestors. That's where that comes from. All right. Remember, they just had the story about Gerald, the dolphin,
Right.
who actually was a merman, in which that I showed you him, in which that was part of a CIA experiment, in which that he got released, and he wanted to take this physicist, this builder actually, I guess you call him an engineer, down into deeper part of the waters and have him to create and build a city. Y'all heard about that story, right?
Yeah, I talked about it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, there we go. So the dolphins are part of our ancestry. All right. As a matter of fact, let's read this. A man named Egon Chorogowski assisted in over 20,000 underwater births. Eventually, he began experimenting with women giving birth in the ocean. In 1979, when preparing with his team for underwater birth in the Black Sea, in a few feet of water, suddenly 3 dolphins approached the pregnant woman, pushed everyone out of the way, and took over. They scanned the length of her body up and down with sonar while relaxing the mother and swimming in circles around her. The mother gave birth to the child effortlessly, painlessly, and without fear. This began multiple projects with dolphin assisting birth that spread it worldwide. So look at the top of your hand. Notice how the base of the digits are separated by small membranes of skin, most notably between the base of the thumb and the forefinger. Although resemblance to a human hand or apparent, chimpanzee, gibbons, and gorilla hands all lack such membranes between their fingers and thumbs. The phylogenical articulations they have never possessed, but we still do. And are the remnants of webbing, all right, webbing being gradually phased out because it was no longer needed as a swimming aid after our ancestors forsook sea mammalhood from the life on dry land. And this is the area that they're talking about right here. That right there.
Wait, hold up, Alim. Hold on. Let me put hold up. Yeah.
Right. That area that's what they're talking about. This area right here. That's the weapon. All right. And it's being phased out. Because we no longer need it. All right. So here we see a child born in a sack. All right. In other words, in an egg of amniotic fluid. Greater part of the human body is identical to the composition of seawater. All right. Renee Quinton discovered that the makeup of human blood serum and the mineral makeup of seawater are usually similar to one another in all aspects except for the salt content. In fact, they are 98% the same. He noticed that the extracellular fluid is almost identical to the content of seawater. And this is why the first thing they do when you go to the hospital is they give you saline, which is which is salt water. That human amniotic fluid is a copy of it. He also demonstrates that the seawater contains a full set of elements and trace values in the same proportion as according to the human body. See, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about proof. Is a water birth right for you? Of course it is. Get this book, Frank Joseph. All right, here we go. David Wilcock, one of the races that Smith discusses length in his July the 10th interview with David Wilcock on the cosmic disclosure or reptilians, who he say had encountered while working at classified facility. David, I found that is very interesting when we look at the Indian history in the Mahabharata and the Veda that we have what appears to be an evil reptilian race called the Rakshasa. But there are also a benevolent reptilian race called the Nagas. Niggas, you get it? That they actually ended up making temples out of. So Wilcock, he knew who were the positive Nagas. All right. And for those who haven't seen it, I'll break this down with brother Bobby Hemmett almost 20 years ago as we did a lecture together. All right. So a benevolent reptilian civilization. That's you and I. The reptilians. You know who this is. Jordan Maxwell. If you don't know, go and check it out. All right. This is Robert Morningsky, who is an Apache Hopi Native American. And he says that the reptoids or the reptilians or the reptiles took this world away from its keepers. It is the keepers who wore reptilians to gain back this world. The keepers are the Syrian reptilians. The reptiles are the gray Regalian Draconians. And the keepers were free men. All right, we was free. Now, he tells you who this is. Check this out. Robert Morningsky, he goes in Los Angeles translation on transcript. The first men were the black men. In fact, Egyptians, though many of those were not, refer to themselves as the black-headed or Blackfoot people. They were the original Blackfoot, but they remembered long ago they were black. All right, so he's telling you who the keepers are. The keepers are the black people. Okay? The Moors. He's telling you who we are. And we battle against the reptiles who have taken this word from us. Okay. So I'm going to end that right there, Brother Rich.
Got you. All right. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, that was powerful. That was powerful indeed, family. I want to take some time to get to some of your Q&A in the chat. So give me some questions for my brother Alim. But yeah, that was a powerful presentation, man. That was powerful, Alim. So all of that is in your book, brother?
Yes, and more.
Oh, and more. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what is the book is on Amazon? Where's the book at?
The book is on my website, Dr. Alim Elbay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. .com.
Okay. Cool.
DrAlimElbay.com.
Got you. DrAlimElbay.com. All right.
Right.
Let's get to let's see.
And as you're doing that, let me say this once again, June 27th, we have an event. And it's going to be in New York. All right, for those interested, contact me 910-364-9099. All right. We trying to bring back the actual lecture circuit because all this damn TikTok shit ain't it. I know you get 3 minutes of some information, but it ain't always accurate. So that is the problem that we're facing. We got to bring back the brothers and sisters who actually done the research, who have put this information together. And so I'm starting it with myself. And so it's going to be June 27th, New York. It's going to be in Williamsburg and Brooklyn. And it's going to be 910-364-9099. Contact me.
You talked to the brother Shabazz, Alim?
Yeah, I talked to him last week.
Yeah, he doing stuff in New York too.
Right, exactly.
Got to hook up with that brother. That'll be a dope collab again. You and brother Shabazz, definitely.
Right.
Let's get to a couple of questions, Alim. What time is this? 11. Okay, yeah. They want to know, what do you think about what was that at the mall in Miami a year or so ago? Remember them aliens that they said?
Those was actual aliens in which that did the coordinates. One number was off, in which that they were supposed to be going to Antarctica. Instead, they hit up the mall area. I guess they wanted to buy some Gucci or some shit. You know, whatever the case was. You know what I mean? So, you know, but they put in the wrong coordinate, and they appeared through a portal, and people said, you know, that they were about 9 feet tall or more.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Alim, according to your research and prophecy, who's coming back at the time that we're in now? We know what we're experiencing right now. We hear what the news is saying. We're going to make this big disclosure. Who's supposed to come back right now? What group? We done talked about all these groups. What group is supposed to come back during the time we're in right now?
I'm gonna tell you, like Obama used to tell us, the help that we're looking for is at the end of our own arm. So it's going to be the activation within those who are the E1B1As. We're going to develop these gifts, and this is why they're feeding us these bioengineered foods, what is called GMO foods. This is why they feeding, giving us the water with fluoride, which is a docile substance. This is why they're destroying the skies with chemtrails, with these bacteria and spores and mold, you know, in order to once again cause respiratory illnesses and diseases. So everything is about stopping us from breathing. This is why they did a campaign with with Eric Gardner, you know what I'm saying he can't breathe. This is why they did a campaign with Floyd saying that he couldn't breathe. You know, why they kept doing that over and over again? Because this is what they're trying to just stop us from doing, is from breathing. Their whole thing is population control agenda, and this is what they're using: food, water, and air to destroy us.
All right. Next question, Alim, is what are your thoughts on how the black sun affects this realm? The
black sun, which actually is our sun, if you are out in that sun, the sun can give you vitamin D, in which that is a hormone, in which that is necessary for our existence. But there is also another problem: is that the frequency of the sun, they are changing because they have put up artificial clouds into the sky, in which that is reflecting the true energy of the sun as it tried to penetrate and give us coronal mass ejections, which is called CMEs, in which that would change our DNA and enlighten us and make us into these Christ figures that we've been reading about. And we would become like Simeon Toko and Simon Kabongo and different other ones who was known as the African avatars, but we would be the Moor avatars.
Hey, Alim, I heard some people say that the clouds weren't always here on this planet. That they is that true?
Yes, that is true.
Damn, could you imagine a planet with no clouds, bro? Just straight. That's some beautiful shit right there.
Isn't it?
Whoa. Man. Let's another question I wanted in terms of the sun, because you was talking about the sun and being dark skinned. So does that mean, because I know the people who obviously are dark skin want to know their capabilities in the sun and the power of their melanin. And I hear people talk about neuromelanin versus the different types of melanin. Is this a strictly color thing where every dark person darker than me can withstand more sun or has more spiritual melanin, for lack of better words, than me? How does this melanin thing work? Is it,
right? The melanin correlates to those centers that I spoke about earlier, the barytheric gland and the epiphany gland. So for those who have those particular glands, they have a more powerful melanin response. In other words, melanin is not just a semiconductor, it can actually become a superconductor by way of breathing a certain way. The method of doing so would be 7171. Breathe in for 7 seconds, hold it for 1 second, breathe out for 7 seconds, hold it for 1 second, and that will expand your auric field to more than 15 feet outside of you, making you more powerful in that aspect.
So 7171.
Right. Breathe in for 7 seconds, hold it for 1 second, breathe out for 7 seconds, hold it for 1 second, and do that 100 times a day.
Shit, that's a lot of times a day. The fuck?
No. I'm talking about just 100 times altogether, God.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Okay.
In other words, it would take you about 45 minutes, God.
Right. Okay. I missed.
Yeah.
Whoa. Shit. All right, let's get to another question. Okay, I'm glad y'all got some good questions in the chat. Thank you. What does Dr. Bay think about the computer centers and the water issue? What do you think about the Army Corp map they are trying to offer us?
The data centers is nothing more than a disguise in order to contaminate the water supply at the local levels. To make sure that we don't have clean water. So they're damaging and contaminating the rivers, the wells, as well as also the lakes and streams. Anything that, because think about it. Do your phone need water? Do your laptop? Do your computer need water? Do any of these instruments need water? So why all of a sudden do a data center, which has nothing more than computerized electronics in it, all of a sudden need so much damn water?
Yeah.
It doesn't. They are there in order to contaminate the water, and the water in which that has come back for those who have data centers is dark brown. The water is contaminated severely. So that's what they're really doing.
So what you recommend? The filters on the waters on your the home
You
filter?
have to have filters. You have to have make sure that you get the water. Make sure you have like a bed of rocks, pebbles, stones that the water can run through in order to purify your water.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good, Ali.
No, I was just saying You can also get water from the air, from the sky when it rains, but you have to make sure that it's not contaminated with nanoparticles. So you will have to make sure that you purify that water as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Indeed,
But that's
indeed.
the only thing we can do nowadays is purify as much as we possibly can.
Somebody said it needs water for cooling. There's immense energy being dispersed. The data centers.
Yeah, that's what they claim. But
Mm.
once again, you don't need that for your computer. You don't need that for your phones. You don't need that for television, plasma TV. You don't need that for anything. But all of a sudden, data center is being put up locally in these obscure neighborhoods, and all of a sudden they need so much water that they're drying out these water supplies in these areas and contaminating them. I don't
Mm.
see that as profitable, and I don't see that as wise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know that's what they tell us, but of course, we know that you can't believe everything the devil say. Simple.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, somebody said, I doubt they need that much water. Yeah,
Exactly.
I,
Exactly.
they might need water, but goddamn, that much? Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, they building data centers the size of cities, Alim.
Exactly.
What the-
Because that's what they're going to use for smart cities. So they're trying to control the water supply.
yeah.
So these smart centers or smart cities will be part of these data centers, and this is what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And see, they're utilizing 6G and 7G. Everybody's still stuck on 5G. They already moved beyond 5G. They're already doing 6G and will soon be doing 7G.
Right. Yeah. Let's get to another question. Let me get to another one. I might get to that one later. I don't know what that means. Somebody said, what can we do to help with our respiratory system?
Just continue breathing. Like I said, you can do 7171. You can do 6363. You can do empty retention. Simply
Yeah.
breathe in, no count. Hold it for 1 second. Breathe out, no count. Hold it for 1 second. And you just do these various exercises on a daily basis. You know, you can do Reiki. Make sure that your organs are functioning well. You know, you can do pranic healing. Make sure that you scrape the negative debris from out of your auric field or your biosphere. So these are all things that you can do on a daily basis to make sure that you are operating properly based on what they're doing to us at these levels.
You know, I'm glad I got you on here and I just thought of this question because I interviewed, I don't know who was it. It might have been the brother Sharif Bey. I don't know exactly who it was, but somebody came on here and said that there's a connection between UFOs and it might have been Ampul. Was it Ampul? Noble Ampul? I'm not sure. But they said there's a connection between UFO. And I know you always deal with the Montauk Chia information. They said there's a connection between UFOs and sexual energy when a man and woman unites that energy and I guess they orgasm at the same time, or UFO could pop up in the motherfucking sky.
Right.
What you heard of something like that? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true, God. Yeah.
Shit.
Your Kundalini
Yeah.
is a vortex in which that goes through the chakras, which actually are the vortex. And these vortexes can pull these crafts into sight.
Whew.
So yeah, your chakra system can pull, with the activation of the Kundalini, can pull these particular crafts into sight. So yes, that is true. And the more these particular centers are open during the sexual experience, a divine soul can come down from these particular crafts.
I see that's why there's always been a war on love music in the black community. There's always been a war on R&B artists and the type of music that is Marvin Gaye or whoever. Like
Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye. Right, you go on and on. Otis Redding. Otis Redding, R. Kelly. Exactly.
Damn, man.
Michael Jackson. Yep.
Michael Jackson. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All of that.
Right.
Ooh, this is some powerful stuff here, y'all. Man. And what book could we look that up in? Something like the connection between sexual energy and UFOs. Where?
You can go actually if you start. Remember they turned the music into a hertz of 440 hertz instead
Right.
of 432 hertz.
Right.
432 hertz is a natural sexual, the actual sexual hertz in which that is needed. So they turned into a animalistic 440 hertz. So that puts us outside of nature, and they make it more aggressive and more. This is where the rape and the incest and these types of things that a person can't control their sexual nature stems from. It's because of the hertz within the music, in general has changed.
Indeed. Let's do about 2 more questions. I've been on here for 2 hours. I ain't gonna keep the brother too long.
Right.
Then we're gonna get out of here. Somebody said, I'm just gonna pull up this one. I see. No, I already got you, Marjorie. So let me get somebody else. Well, shout out to Marjorie. Always ask good questions. Somebody said, what about galactic beings in our dreams?
Those are actual beings trying to connect with you. All right. Like for example, I had a Bigfoot in which that chased me in my dream. And the shit was so real, I was actually panicking. You know what I'm saying? As I was running, and I jumped through a window, which would be symbolic to a portal, and I got beamed up by a pyramid shaped craft in the dream. And then as I got beamed up and I got on the ship, I woke up instantly.
Wow.
So my ancestors was trying to communicate with me about these particular creatures that exist on planet Earth. In particular, these Bigfoots or Sasquatch, which my book goes into, that they actually do exist. Because they are what we call the Neanderthals. They are the remnants of the Neanderthals.
All right, question, Alim. If melanated folks, non-ether beings, I'm gonna just say that, non-ether beings, was to go somewhere and collectively chant or dance to summon a UFO or a being, where would be the most powerful place, just in the United States? I know all over the world, but just in this country, what place would be the most powerful place for us to go to pull that off and summon that a certain energy?
Cahokia Mounds.
Where's that?
Cahokia Mounds is in East St. Louis, going into Illinois.
Okay. Why you say
travel towards Chicago?
Why you say that?
Because it's one of the largest mounds or pyramids in the United States.
Yeah, I thought you was gonna say Shasta. That's what I thought you was gonna say.
No, that's the European shit.
Oh shit! Don't say that, Ali. That's. I hear magical things about. I heard this.
For us being melanated, it would be Cahokia Mounds. And then you also have the Serpent Mound if you want to activate the Kundalini.
What about them beings that they say live in Shasta, the Telos or some shit like that?
Right, the Telos or the Tyros,
what's
as well as the Eros. Right. Dr. York speaks about the Telos or the Tyros beings, as well as also the Deros. These are the so-called blacks with large heads, like the Yaku, or the big head scientists. And then you have the Deros, which is like the cone head shape people. So I think I might get that backwards, but that's who they are. You have the Deros and the Tyros, which is the Telos.
You ever been to the Grand Canyon, Ali? You ever been over there?
Yeah, I've been to Sedona, which is right down the street from the Grand Canyon.
So what they saying is true about that being ancient Egypt and it being a portal to Africa?
That is true. Yes, because if you go to Sedona, you can actually go on the Egyptian tour, and they have pyramids. They have um, structures of Amun, Amun Ra. They have structures in which that looks like Sphinx.
Mhm.
All these things are there, but
Right.
it looks like they have been melted. You know, so
Mhm.
there was a war in which that took place in Arizona, in which that we would call it or refer to it similarly to a nuclear war, in which that shows all these melted structures, but they still exist.
You know, I think Rod Hayes talks about that
Hmm.
nuclear war.
Right.
What was this? What was this? Was like 10,000 years ago. Nuclear war. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Now, was that with the what group was that? According to your research, that nuclear war, was that the Draconians? Was that the Anunnaki? Who was that? That
Right. That was done. That was done before they made the agreement. You know, some say that it was the Anunnaki and the Dracos or reptilians, and
yeah.
that they, in order to make an agreement, they had to marry into each other's clans in order for that agreement to exist. So,
Uh,
the princess of the reptilians had to marry the prince of the Anunnaki.
oh God.
Hmm.
Could you
So that,
imagine how the princess of the reptilians looked, man?
yeah, you
Shit.
can, yeah,
He had to
right,
hit. He had to hit that. Shit, man. Wow,
exactly,
man.
exactly, exactly. Well, that would explain some things, you know, on on these people who have these slanted eyes, God.
mm,
I mean,
mm.
where they came from,
Right, right, right,
mixing in. Yeah.
right. This thing is weird, man. This thing gets real weird, man. We've been lied to
Oh
so much.
yeah. Oh yeah. We've been lied to on a great scale.
What's your thoughts on Tartaria, Alim? You ever talk about that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tartaria, which is the Moorish Empire, existed up until 1914. Really, that was part of the Ottoman Empire, as well as what we call the Moorish Empire. That existed right here in the Americas. You know, what
Well,
happened was that there was a war in which that took place in the 1800s, in which that they have footage of this war in which that took place right there in the Vatican, and they've been showing it lately on TikTok.
yeah, they on TikTok they say the Great Reset happened in 1776.
Right,
That's when
right,
I guess the Tartarian Empire.
right. That was the footage in which that they showed was actually what took place in 1776.
Mm, mm.
Hmm.
Man, oh man. Well, Alim, I don't want to keep you much longer, my brother.
Okay, God.
It's been a great chat, brother. Tell the people once again what you got coming up and
Yeah,
how they can get in touch with you, brother. Also, how they could get your book.
right. Going to get my book. Support us now. If you like this information, it don't compare to what's in the book. All right. I just gave you a smidget. All right. So go and get the book, Planetary Genesis, Stargate DNA, and Human Extraterrestrial Origin. And the book is found on www.dralimlbey.com. DRALIMELBEY.com. And you can go there and get the book. All right. So just go to the engine search once you are on the page and put in planetary and it should pop up. We got an event coming up in New York. We starting back the lecture circuit, and we're going to basically be bringing this type of information and science. So anybody who is in New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Delaware, Connecticut, come on out. You know what I mean? We're going to be right there in New York and Brooklyn, and we're going to basically, be putting it down. And that's going to be on June 27th. June 27th. And for anybody who want information, tickets are selling fast, so you better come on and get it now. 910-364-9099. That's 910-364-9099.
Indeed. Y'all, you know what I meant to ask you, Alim? When I was playing the commercial earlier, I thought about you. Do you deal with the cigars? You smoke tobacco? Do you deal with the tobacco during ritual or anything?
Yeah, yeah, and rituals, yeah.
I got it. Yo,
Mhm.
I gotta send you some, bro. I got 100% pure tobacco cigars from Honduras.
Oh,
Everybody
God.
I've been sending them to, they've been absolutely loving it, brother. Like
Okay.
the technology of these joints is phenomenal, brother.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Send it to me, God.
Bro. Yeah, it's from Honduras. You know, as a matter of fact, and you would know about this because you deal with the indigenous. The cigars are made in Copan, Honduras. It's like
Got you.
that's the center of an ancient Mayan civilization.
Hmm.
So
Civilization, right? Olmec civilization, right?
yeah. Mayan,
Hmm.
Olmec, same thing. Aztec, same thing. What would be the?
Basically, because they were always black people before they got railroaded into the white images in which that we see now.
Mhm, mhm.
Hmm.
And what about the Toltecs? Who's the Toltecs?
The Toltecs are the descendants of the Olmecs as well. So they
Okay.
was melanated. All of them was melanated. The Olmecs, the Toltecs, the Incas, the Aztec, the Mayans. They was all melanated people. They was black originally, and then the Spaniards came over, and the Chinese, and then they mixed in which that now we get what we see.
Mm.
This is why they speak Spanish, and they gonna try to say that they are indigenous, but most of your ancestry is now from Spain.
Mm. Yeah, very interesting, man. Very interesting.
Hmm.
You ever been over there in Copan, Honduras? You ever been over there?
Yeah, I went to Roatan.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, been to Roatan. And Dr. Sabi's store was right there on Roatan. So yeah, his old store was right there on the island.
Indeed, yeah. Okay, man. Wow. Yeah, you've been doing your thing for a minute, Ali, man. I'm glad you're still around doing your thing. We definitely need, the older scholars who came with a different level of research, serious research, book research, all types of research. So your services are definitely appreciated, brother. Somebody asking, you got a cash app? They want to know you got a cash app, brother?
Um, no, I got Cash App. I got PayPal.
Let me put your PayPal up before you get out of here.
Yeah, PayPal is culturalfreedom@yahoo.com. So CULTURAL, cultural freedom, FREEDOM @yahoo.com.
You said cultural freedom at
Yeah,
yahoo.com?
right. Cultural freedom @yahoo.com is my PayPal.
All right. Alim does not have a cash app. I just posted his PayPal, cultural freedom. That's it right there. Culture,
Yeah, yeah, that's
culture.
it.
Yeah, cultural freedom at yahoo.com. If you want to support the brother
Yeah,
financially,
please do. Please do. Please support.
yeah, if you want to support financially, you could go right there. Once again,
We've been,
cultural
do-
freedom.
we've been doing it for 35 years. 35 years, and I'm still trying to look 35. So let's get it. Let's get it.
Indeed. Hey, Ali, man, I appreciate you, my brother, and I'm gonna talk to you soon.
All right. Peace, God.
Peace, my brother. All right. Shout out to my brother Alim family. That was a good show. That was a real good show. Once again, the brother's Cash App, not Cash App, PayPal. I'm sorry, not Cash App. Don't send it to Cash. This is PayPal. The brother's PayPal is culturalfreedom at yahoo.com. All right, family. But I'm about to get out of here. We done been on here for a while now. It took us a little while to get the show started. So I apologize for the inconvenience. Let me see what y'all talking about here, but I'm about to get out of here. I'm a little tired right now. Indeed. Been running around all day. It's been raining, and I mean, it literally rained all day long, y'all out here. I mean, all day long. If you missed it, definitely rewind. If you missed it, the show tonight, definitely rewind. But other than that, I guess I'm gonna get out of here. Let me see if y'all what y'all talking about it. Yeah, shout out to everybody. The cigars is going out all week. Once again, family, I know a lot of y'all ordered after the last show with B-Dell. Cigars are going out all week. So yeah, be on the lookout next week. They're going out all week. So if you recently ordered or you ordered a while ago, a couple of people emailed me, said, Brother Rich, I ain't get my cigars yet. So I looked into it. If I look into it and I find your order, I'm gonna take care of you. Email me if you have a problem. This ain't super fast service. Like when you order for Mr. G, Mr. G's fast. That dude, he ain't no joke. He's the best with shipping. Mr. G is ship out your honey or your Geefy tea in like 3 days. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? But the cigars take some time. But oh, trust me, they are worth it. They are worth it. So, you know, they may take 2 weeks, but I just put my email. Somebody said, what am I? I just put my email. The email is richardmerritt@yahoo.com. But yeah, also, yeah, make sure you support. I got to call G. Speaking of Mr. G, make sure you get that that Geefy tea. You know, I need some more. I have to wait till I tell y'all, man. Listen, we got some powerful technology at our hands right now, y'all. We got some powerful technology. I got, you know, there's a lot of things that, that I'm gonna let y'all know about. Shout out to Sharif. Sharif got some amazing the liquid gold. Sharif, I seen him this weekend. His product is dope, real dope too. His product is real dope. I'm gonna share. Let me share. Somebody early had asked before I get out of here. Let me share the link for the cigars. I say that every time, and every time I end up looking at. Anybody watch basketball? Did who won tonight? Because I seen the Knicks won last night. The Knicks made it to the finals. Did San Antonio win tonight, or did OKC win? What is going on? Yeah, oh, that's a hell of a combination. I just OKC won. Okay, all right. So they up 3-2 now. Wow. All right. Wow. All right. I just shared the link for the radio cigars in the chat. The donate, and anybody that donates 30 or more, that's donation based. So anybody who donates 30 or more. Oh shit, y'all got jokes because of the Yahoo. You know, yeah, I know. Oh man, they making fun of you. I know everybody tell me, yo, what the hell you still doing with a Yahoo account? Oh man, y'all making fun of me. I know I gotta get rid of the Yahoo account. I know. Oh man, everybody always making fun of me with that. There was something I wanted to say. Oh no, somebody said I want to try the liquid gold and cigars. Yeah, that might be a hell of a combination, y'all. Liquid gold and cigars. That might be a hell of a combination. But yeah, I've been hearing some things and doing some review. I wait till I tell y'all about these cigars and some of the things that are available on this channel, the Geefy tea and things like that, man. Some of the elders been schooling me to a lot of different things, in terms of the brainwave states and things that we don't even know what we're doing with some of them. So this is why I put the instructions. I'm still waiting on, I'm still waiting on the instructions. They should be here any day now. As soon as I get the instructions, but they should be here any day. I'm waiting. I done ordered them. Yeah, the liquid gold does help you get into a deeper meditation. Yep. It does. And the cigars are smooth. Yeah, the smoothest cigars I ever had. Definitely the smoothest cigars I ever had. Definitely. Yeah, I remember the Knicks last time in the finals was 1999. They lost to the Spurs. Wouldn't that be interesting if they play the Spurs again? 27 years later, that would be somebody said bon nuit chat in Bro Rich. I took French in high school. That means good night. Bon nuit. Am I saying it right? Bon nuit. I took French in high school. Yeah, that means good night. Good night. Bon nuit. Bon nuit, Sadia Crossman. Bon nuit. Bon nuit. I wish I would have kept going with the French, and I would have, really took it serious and learned the language, I really do. Just a donation for the cigars. I don't understand that question. The link that I put up, this link right here, is for that's for the radio cigars. If somebody said, yep, I ordered from him this morning. Yeah, Mr. G. Shout out Mr. G. Shout out Mr. G. I'm gonna be talking about the Geefy tea in the show soon. I should have had that commercial queued up. I ain't played that commercial in a minute. Let me see if it'd be like Nuwani, Gifiti, Nuwani. Yeah, we'll probably go out. We'll go out today. We'll go out today with the Nuwani Gifiti commercial. Let me see if matter of fact, let me see if hold up before I get out here. Before I get out here, let me share the link. That's a link to the Gifiti. Before I get out of here, I wish I had the link for Sharif's Liquid Gold, but I have no idea. I have no idea what the link to Sharif's Liquid Gold is. But I need to do a show on just my favorite products, because I tried so many products. I talked about I see his wife Selena. She got some of the best skincare and hair products out there. So there's a lot of good products out there. Yeah, the Mr. G on that same link that I shared for the Gifiti, Mr. G got the honey. The honey, Mr. G has the honey at a wholesale price. Him and KT work with the honey, do the honey thing together. He has the honey at a wholesale price now. So if you go to the link that I just shared with you, it's at an unbelievable price that you could never ever dreamed of getting it for. So yeah, shout out to him. Yeah, Brother Yosef though is coming later on in this week, maybe Thursday or Friday. I might do a show tomorrow, might not, I'm not sure. Yeah, Nesut Nectar, that's the name of the honey, Nesut Nectar. Yeah, somebody said we need hair product. Yeah, Selena. The Selena hair product's phenomenal. I use it on my daughter's hair. I mean, phenomenal. That's why I said I gotta do a show on just some of my favorite products. Let y'all know like what's been really, really assisting people out there. But her product is definitely up there. Yeah, it's definitely up there. But I'm gonna get out of here, family. I'm gonna see y'all if not tomorrow, Thursday. If not tomorrow, then Thursday. But other than that, Queen Nefertiti, yeah, your package is I think somebody sent it out today. I think one of my shipping people that ships for me sent it out today, because I told you I was sending you. I gotta check to see if yours is still in the bin, but yeah, yours regardless, yours is going. I didn't forget about you. Yours is going out this week, so I'm not sure if it's going out today or not. Yeah, somebody said get the iridology sister. Shout out to I forgot her name. Moore. I think her name is Moore. Is that her name? Moore? What's her name? But I do gotta holler at that sister. Iridology is the real deal. So I gotta, and I want to. She got this liver cleanse thing that Shakira Moore. Yeah, shout out to Dr. Shakira Moore. She got this liver cleanse thing that I want to get from her. That I heard about. Not that I heard her speak about, and I had like a good feeling about it. So yeah, I gotta I'll be forgetting sometime, with some of the people I gotta holler at. But yeah, I gotta holler at Dr. Shakira Moore. She's on Instagram. You could check her out on Instagram. But yeah, I gotta holler at her, get her on here, do a new show. Oh, see, somebody I did a liver cleanse with her. Definitely. Okay, see, yeah. All right, with that being said, let me get out of here, family. Thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight, and I will see y'all either tomorrow or Thursday. Cigar orders is going out this whole week, so everybody be on the lookout next week. All right, family. Other than that, I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. We had a packed house tonight. We had about 2,000 people live, and Alim did a magnificent job. Make sure you support the brother. He got a lot going on. He got the event. He got the book. I'm going to go to his website and get that book. Yeah, I'm gonna go get that book. Shit, I'm gonna go get that book myself. I ain't got time to wait. I'm gonna go get that book. I need that book. So, yeah. But other than that, family, I will see y'all in tomorrow or Thursday. Okay, take care of yourself, family. We going out with the Gifiti Nuwani. That song. Feel it in your soul. Shout out to Mr. G. But yeah, we go out to Gifiti. Salute to all of y'all.
From the roots where the earth still speaks, To the fire where they always breathe. Hands of wisdom, time can't erase. Every drop got a story to say. Slow it down, feel the rhythm inside. This ain't rush, this a sacred design. From the soil to the soul to the light. What you hold is a gift of life. You are, feel it in your soul. Give it, let the story unfold. Ancestral power in every drop. This that legacy, this don't stop. You are rooted deep in you. Give it, yes, pure and true. Not something you drink, you receive. This that energy you believe. Hey, hey. Ooh, Luani. Oh, Luani. Give it. And this is where your elders hit and drums sing perfectly.